Good morning, Maya. So this interview that we're gonna have, this is really what I wanted your attention for. I wanted to debrief you and everybody else. So this is how we're gonna do it. Okay. So yeah, I have a general idea of what happened. So I'm gonna give me a few minutes. I'm gonna try to give a brief synopsis of what has happened from about 2006 to now, right? So when I was at the hold on, all right, if you gotta go, then go. I'll talk to you later. All right. So when I was in the University of Delaware, right? I was accepted into the parallel program, which is it's a joint operation between Delaware Technical and Community College in Wilmington, Delaware, and the University of Delaware. So what you do is you go to Del Tech for 2 years, and you take unique courses taught by unique professors, right? And they're usually like intro courses and shit like that, shit that you would have to take in like a larger classroom setting down at UD, right? So I went there for 2 years, right? The second year I went there, I met this professor, Christopher Moore, right? This was my first mentor, my first like real black mentor, right? And he's from New York. I used to work with him on doing websites and shit like that. And he would make me do them for free only because he's like, look, Sky, you're just getting into doing websites for other people. Show and prove that you can do a website for such and such, and I might can get you some more business. I'm like, cool. The whole time he's talking about how he has friends that are literally sitting on millions of dollars and shit like that. He's like, look, Sky, look, I got connections. So if money is something you're worried about, don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Now, when he was teaching us philosophies of life course, right, the one thing that I did not like was the way that the students would treat him, because they would call him gay, right? Because I didn't think he was gay, but it was like because he spoke fast and because he spoke elegantly, like people would call him gay. I had this real tall African dude, the one that showed his dick to my ex, the white girl. He's sitting there calling this guy gay. But then they would also make fun of me, calling me Michael Jackson. They would call the girl Sharisa light-skinned Michael Jackson. This is around the time that Kanye West song came out, right? So one of the things that this guy imparted on me was, the idea of marriage, right? I met his family. I met his wife. I met his 2 kids, right? And he was just an adjunct professor. One of the things he told me while I'm doing a website for another client he was like, man, Sky, my biggest issue right now is my wife. I love my wife. I love my kids. But my wife does not support me at all. This is the one thing he told me. And while he's explaining all this shit to me, he's also talking about stories and shit like that. He's an entertainment lawyer, right? Now, the thing about that is, because he's an entertainment lawyer, and he's talking about writing stories, right? I think what ended up happening was, because he's a bit of a narcissist, he is, right? I think his feelings got hurt by the way he was treated, because he would say shit to the class like, look, when I leave, I don't give a fuck about y'all. Like, y'all are not on my mind. Like, I gotta go home, I got a family to take care of, Now, the one dude that was in that class, the one that said I was gonna die at 50, the white boy, he would say some weird shit, right? Like choking somebody to death and bringing them back to life while having sex with them and shit like that. And me and Christopher just look at each other like side eye, like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude, right? This is the same dude that came up to the towers and said he was going to read my palm. And when he read my palm, he was like, oh, you're going to die at age 50. That's what he said. So I think what ended up happening was he got down there, ran into the same shit that I've been dealing with the entire time. A whole bunch of hidden racism, right? And a bunch of people, he may have said all that. Like, I don't care, but it may have hurt his feelings. And with the way people talk, especially in Delaware, Delaware's a very small state. People will assume that your business is gossip. And they won't talk to you about it. Won't talk to you about your, what they heard or none of that. They'll just assume that gossip is what your reality. Whatever people are gossiping about, that's true. So with all that said, and the fact that, I actually visited an actual psychic, right? When my life was in shambles, I visited an actual psychic, and she recommended that I be an entertainment lawyer. And I was like, why the fuck would I be an entertainment lawyer? I already know an entertainment lawyer, right? But this makes sense now. All I need to do is talk to this guy. Because he met my mom, he met my brothers, right? I'm willing to bet that he took a surrogate father figure role, without asking, right? And that's why he's acting the way he's acting. I think the one thing that he didn't count on was he didn't really fully know who I was, which is why my older brother was like, yo, don't play with Sky like that. Don't play with Sky like that because he might fuck you up. I wouldn't let my own father treat me a certain way, like treat me like I was less than a man or I had to do everything he said. I don't let my mom do it. But I respect my mom more because my mom is the one that actually raised me. And if this guy knows my mom, if this guy knows my brothers, I'm willing to bet that my mom, from the standpoint of, look, my kids didn't really grow up with a father figure. It's more like sharing a mentor, right? This guy was my first mentor. I just don't know how bad this guy. If I'm correct, right? Because people were calling him gay. People were also calling me gay, right? And I wasn't gay. All I did was hang out with women and shit. But I hung out with dudes too. I think what happened was people were jealous. So I'm willing to bet, because this guy's from New York, he's from Mount Vernon, right? I'm willing to bet he was like, because he was the one that taught me communication is 85% nonverbal, 15% verbal, right? I'm willing to bet he was like, you know what, Sky, I wish I had time to talk to you about this shit, but I can show you better than I can tell you. Because when I got kicked out of my house, that guy let me sleep in his office. That was the one place I could go to and sleep. This was like around Thanksgiving and shit like that. That guy's a decent guy, man. Very decent guy. So if he's doing all this crazy shit and he's not coming to see me yet, because I know he ain't dead, it's for a reason. And he kind of looked like Will Smith a little bit, so he might be related to that dude. The dude Austin around here, he looks like he's related to Will Smith. He also looks like he's related to the guy Christopher Lloyd. And I haven't spoken to this guy in years. His wife would call him Scrooge because he would have me do work on Christmas and shit for him. And I didn't mind because I wasn't doing anything anyway. But when he told me his wife wasn't supporting his vision, his dreams, and that's why he felt like he had to leave, as a man, I get that. I totally get that. I need to talk to this guy. But I need to talk to the locks and shit first. Hopefully I can talk to all of them. I just need to know where and when I can talk to these people. But in short, that's generally what's going on. And the reason I was so big on clearing out all of that negativity yesterday before the new year was because if I didn't do that, I would have woke up wanting to kill this guy. I would have, because I saw him. I saw him the other day. And he owes me bread. You owe me money. Christopher Moore, you owe me money, bro. It ain't much, but you owe me bread. You owe me like $1,000, nigga. Stop playing. But short of that, if I didn't clear out all that negativity, because this is all spiritual warfare, psychological warfare, and he was going through it, my family was going through it, they tried to kill my mom a number of times, I'm willing to bet this is what happened. So I don't even need to talk about it with him. I just need to know where the fuck he's going and what he's trying to do. Because if he needed support for his vision that bad that he had to drag me all the way down like this, then you know what I mean? If anything, he proved himself right. Look, who supported Sky when he fell? Nobody. Right? Now, my mom supported me. Don't get it twisted. My grandma supported me. My mom supported me with food and all that stuff. Like food and whatever she could support me with money-wise, but it wasn't much, you know. Sky, you can go buy you a couple cigarettes. Sky, I got enough to spare you some cigarettes. Yeah, go ahead, baby. Get you cigarettes. But it wasn't more than that. Because my mom is not in that position, right? My grandma let me stay here. Even though all the pressure she was getting from me just staying here was making her life impossible to live. So I got support, just not the support I need. I know how to bring this to a beautiful conclusion because he said something about there's only 10 endings to a story. I'm gonna prove him wrong, and I know he's a bit of a narcissist, but I'm gonna prove that I could create a new ending for this, and support him, and support the Locks, and support everybody at the same time, and make it a win-win situation for all of us. Because at this point, there's no way we can go but up. Literally, we have nothing to lose and everything to gain at this point. So, if you're willing to get down with what I'm doing, I won't say get down or lay down, but you gotta do what I ask, or I gotta do what I gotta do. Alright? This is Armored Phoenix, signing out. Yeah, I have a general idea of what happened.
That's it. Thank you, Maya. Thanks for listening. You're awesome.
So if you give me a few minutes, I'm gonna try to give a brief synopsis of what has happened from about